Hello, everyone. I'm Kraleti, one of the Leads Fellows. I'm going to be talking today about transitioning into a leadership role successfully. This is based on my own personal experience over the last year as I moved into the primary care and population health service line director role. The first and foremost aspect that we need to be thinking about for transition is negotiation. As we start the process of negotiation or doing the discovery and getting more information, that is going to help a lot with the future transition process. It's important to not assume anything, but ask all the questions about every little thing, may it be process, people, or individuals, system, organization, and that information will be helpful in the future. And that part is also called the social contract. That is also as important as the financial contract that we usually tend to focus on. And as we're kind of negotiating, it's also important to keep that perspective of how this information can be useful in the future once you assume that role. So changing that perspective will help. And then as you're getting more information about the position and the organization, getting a comprehensive, and doing a comprehensive analysis and getting as much information as possible will be very helpful. And that also kind of helps you to understand what to expect in that role. So asking as many questions, meeting as many different people in different positions will help a lot. And as you're doing the evaluation of the program and the position and the institution, it's also helpful to evaluate yourself and how you behave in certain situations, how you communicate. What are your triggers, and how can you use that to help yourself with the negotiation process and afterwards as well. A key element of being successful in a new role is to assess the team. So keep looking for each individual person, what their role is, ask them about what they do, and kind of see them work in their environment, and that would help you a lot with future decisions. And assessing teams, the key people that you want to know about is who you work for. So like how many bosses you have, and like what are their priorities, or what are his or her priorities, what do they want from you, and if they feel strongly about something, making sure that you're communicating appropriately and handling those kind of scenarios well, to make sure that you have those good relationships with your supervisors. In the same vein, also identifying institutional priorities and making sure that your priorities align with those of the institution. It's important to kind of take time to settle down, gain trust, and develop relationships when you join a new position and take a new role. So it's okay to kind of take the time before you start making decisions and start recommending changes. And as you assess your team, using that information to kind of develop your future team, like one important thing from this is who are your go-to people, who need your help versus who are self-sufficient, and who have potential to be future leaders, and identifying them early is going to be very helpful as well. Also, one thing I had to do was getting used to the pace of the new position. Like I've always been used to sitting on any discussion topics and decisions and kind of processing it. But in this new role, I had to take like 25 decisions a day, and there was no way I could sit on them. So making sure that you understand how the new position would work on a day-to-day basis is important. One thing is important as you're kind of learning about a position is to also ask about the hidden mission area of service. I found myself on 10 different committees within a couple of months of being in the new role, and also like getting about 200 additional emails every day. So understanding the culture of the institution and also how that what that position entails beyond the usual mission areas of clinical education research is also important. Also, be flexible with your leadership style because each person's different and they've got a different personality. Teams are different. So, being flexible and kind of changing how you respond uh, is also very important. Another experience I had was that I felt like I had to uh, know everything or at least act like I know everything, and later realize that that doesn't need to be the case. So, understanding about imposter syndrome and Dunning-Kruger effect is important about yourself and how you communicate with others. Another issue with leadership positions is that you could be inundated with day-to-day stuff. So making sure that you don't lose sight of the bigger picture and the goals and vision of the institution and the role. Lastly, I want to stress on communication. Over communicate if you can. Also seek communication as much as possible and make sure that you're walking the talk by being receptive and being available to people if that's what you're going to be telling them as part of your communication. So thank you for the opportunity. Here are my references as part of this presentation.